So I did 2 back-to-back 10-year bids. He ain't the only person that had to reset.
Right. Everybody that in the last 20 years or this lifetime that was incarcerated, fought for their freedom, had to get denied at some point along their journey before they became free.
This is my first time being free this long since I was 15.
Throw your hands up if you with it, drop it.
Thank you, everybody, for the Locked Up and Locked Out podcast and then a family of Locked Up and Locked Out. Thank you very much for tuning in to another episode. My distinguished guest today, Mr. Tyron Hammond. Yes. Thank you for joining us, man.
Appreciate it.
And I'm willing to tell your story in your walk and how you're trying to help a brother in a horrible way. You know what I'm saying? He find himself in a horrible way. Can you explain to the people what I'm talking about a little bit?
So I have a childhood friend who goes by the name of Fresh, but his government name is Bellamy. He was sentenced to 100 years for a crime in 2008, 2009. I'm not too sure of the exact year because I was incarcerated myself in the federal system. In addition to all of that, I've been home for about to be 6 years in June, and been trying to see with what my hands can do to shed light on, the unfortunate situation he's in. So the brother reached out to me and asked me, hey, I got an idea, man. Let's shed some light on it. And I agreed. And I didn't do it without asking him his permission first, because Absolutely. Even though, it's our idea and we feel like maybe, some ears or some eyes may question like, hey, who is this guy? And, let me look into it. We still have to ask him for his blessings, and he gave them. So, again, it's unfortunate. He was in the habeas court about 3 years ago. And friends and family alike, we all thought he was going to come home because of the evidence that he presented was in his favor. And of course, they denied it.
So now he's back at square one trying to...
Now, back it up a little bit. This is a murder that happened.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's a double murder.
Okay. Tragic.
Yep.
For the family members that lost their loved ones.
Yep.
But so many times, so often, we're scapegoated.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We might have a checker prize. Might be, rambunctious, dibbling in the streets and things of that nature. But many of us come from environments that's conducive
Absolutely.
To these activities. But that doesn't make you a bad person, nor does it make you a murderer.
Absolutely.
When we have these type of situations, we want to get it right. Often, 2 times, people rush to judgment.
Absolutely.
And this brother, like you said, from the evidence, clearly, there's an inconsistency in truth telling, and we have seems like a judge that's not willing to do his job for a better lack thereof.
Yep.
Seeing that witnesses live, from my understanding, fabricated truths. So can you take it from there?
Yeah, so again, I was incarcerated throughout the whole thing. And what information I received upon my release, just via supporting him through court appearances and, just certain conversations you can have on the phone. Of course, they monitor, so you really can't say too much, but just from putting my ear to the streets and doing my due diligence, it really wasn't nothing they could really hold him on.
Right.
Because he proved everything that he needed to prove, that the government, the state,
Right.
I'm you know,
Right.
so I used to
Yeah,
say the
yeah.
government because of my background,
Right,
but
right.
the state didn't prove his burden.
Right.
Like, they didn't prove the case. So we got to the habeas, which is in somewhere out this way, Rockville, yeah. So we get there, bunch of friends, family members, his kids, and it was like 3 days, if I'm not mistaken. And every day, somebody else came to, like,
Right.
you know, help him, whether it was from the victim side or from his side. And it's no way that you could have told me, somebody who has insight of fighting for their freedom,
Right.
that he wasn't gonna walk. So I'm like, I'm telling, you know, the guys that couldn't make it, like, yo, I was looking, I'm like, man, bro should be home real soon because of the evidence, because that's what you have to present.
I figure you get somebody from the victim side to say, nah, that's not the person. And from my understanding, a firefighter or something came for
One of his friends, that's a firefighter that was there that night as well.
And here's a man that helps people, you know.
He's a first responder.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying, in the most toughest situations, you know what I'm saying? Like, he runs in the burning buildings.
Yeah.
And to say and dismiss what he's saying, it's kind of powerful in itself. But how do like, because you went to these proceedings, to sit in and hear the slew of evidence, compelling or just the fact finding of what wasn't said, and then to hear the things that you heard, to unring that bell, how do you, like, desensitize yourself and, like, and start over, so to speak, and helping him in his fight?
So first, it was triggering for me because that was my first time being in the courtroom since I lost trial.
Right.
So I'm sitting in there and I can't even believe that I'm on this side of the fence, so to speak, like sitting here watching a childhood friend go through something that I went through.
Right.
So that was traumatic in itself. And then to watch him, like, feel how we all felt, to have to reset, because
he ain't the only person that had to reset.
Everybody that in the last 20 years or this lifetime that was incarcerated, fought for their freedom, had to get denied at some point along their journey before they became free. Yeah. So he is in the reset mind and now trying to pivot and, you know, get back in, because it's hard. I mean, you have firsthand knowledge, it's hard. So he's trying to tap back into, I'm still gonna fight, even though it's a sense of like, look, man, just whatever they could do, man, I'm trying to do it.
And that alone is troubling. To have somebody that's innocent, who says and constantly says he's innocent, and even through the evidence, showing that he's innocent, or there's a doubt that these people who came originally forth was being truthful. And not to give this man a new trial and hear the evidence on his merit is troublesome.
Absolutely.
And then I believe the trauma that, because you said his children came, for his children to hear these things and sit through this 3-day trial or hearing and be left with, how is my father still in this mess, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because he's not doing the time by himself.
Absolutely.
His children is being affected each and every day and growing up for the last 20 years without a father.
Absolutely.
Or just knowing their father limitless through phone calls, visits. The system is predicated on the backs of minorities and blacks, in particular in this state. And they hold our feet to a fire that they're not relentless in pursuing your blood.
Absolutely.
I think is wrong. And my viewing listeners, I hope that you see it that is wrong, and we do something because it's so effective in the sense that when you have a man who's been penalized for somebody else's crime, it's horrific.
Absolutely.
But then when you having people stand up and say they got the wrong person, now the checks and balances should even out, and more people should have a sense of outcry, like, we're not going to allow this to continue, this to happen to our people, and our young black men who's becoming elderly men incarcerated.
Absolutely.
Like, and that was your childhood friend, you said.
Yes.
Through other people that you was in connected with.
His brother.
Okay. And he ended up going to the feds with you?
No, his brother is
okay,
like a civilian.
Oh, that's great, man. That's great.
Works at the VA.
Yeah.
College degree. Just he pivoted from the lifestyle.
Yeah. I mean, it's a difficult task, but it's a task that we're up to, you know what I'm saying, to stand up to and shine through.
Absolutely.
And it's just a testament to the work that you're doing coming home.
Absolutely.
And how much time did you serve in the Fed?
17 years.
So I did 2 back-to-back 10-year bids. Wow. So I did 10 years from 2003, 2012, came home for 4 months, still in 2012, and got indicted again on some ammunition.
Oh, my goodness.
And got another 10 years. And then in 2020, I was released early for compassionate release because of COVID.
Right.
And I'm an asthmatic, so that released me like 3.5 years early.
Right.
And I haven't looked back since. The transition home has been challenging, to say the least.
Right. In what sense challenging?
In every sense.
Okay.
And if you want me to elaborate, feel free to. I won't have.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, guys from our backgrounds that's been incarcerated struggle when they come home and they release. We all struggled with who we used to be and who we trying to become.
Right.
And I realized that this is my first time being free this long since I was 15.
Right. And I'm about to be 44, God willing, in less than 90 days. So I've been home about to be 6 years. My son will be 5 tomorrow. So you see what I'm saying? So I had to pivot and change the mindset of, I don't care about my reputation.
Right.
Like I did what I did. I lived the life that I lived. I don't have no regrets besides one, which is misusing my influence.
Right.
Because sometimes culturally we influence the people that watch us.
Yes.
And we don't realize that.
Yes.
We don't realize that self-consciously these little kids or these teenagers are watching us while we live in a life that we ain't supposed to be living.
Right.
And it affects that. So Brandon, so to speak, this is my best friend, younger brother. He's 4 years younger than us. So if I'm 21, he's 16, 17.
Right.
So he see us, we got cars, we got jewelry, we got women, we got money. Naturally, if this is around him 24/7, he's gonna wanna
That's what he gravitates
to. Right. So trying to change that narrative now, how I was hired through the nonprofit to be a mentor in the elementary school.
Okay, great.
I did so good that the principal said, I'm gonna hire you.
Right.
So I said, okay, bet. She said, here go the application for the Board of Education. I filled everything out. I paid for the application. I did everything I had to do.
Right.
I went to go get fingerprinted and they denied me because my past came into my future.
See, that's another, me and a previous guest that I had, Judge Grave, great man. We spoke about how when brothers come home and sisters as well, trying to get your record expunged. And in the federal realm, it's different.
Yeah.
Because you got you can get it cleared from the state, but then you have to go to that next level, which is a pardon from the president.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, it should be something clearer, avenue for brothers and sisters coming home from the feds to get their records expunged.
It should be up to the government.
Right. That right there should definitely be taken out of the hands of the president, because you're coming back to the communities in which you were taken from for the crimes that was committed earlier on.
Yeah.
And the president, he's busy doing what he's doing for on lack of better words. But that's another fight that needs to be taken up because it's a hindrance from brothers like yourself and sisters that's out there doing positive things, trying to reacclimate themselves with society.
Absolutely.
But have these roadblocks that's on direct hindrance and contradictory to the lifestyle of which you live now.
Absolutely.
And then circling back to Mr. Bellamy. What is his mental condition right now?
So right now he feels like kind of beat down, but not beat down.
Right.
He still got the fight in him. Again, I always go back to everybody that has fought for their freedom. We all been in that situation. I say we because I was too.
Absolutely.
And you get denied or you get rejected, and it mentally it drains you.
Right.
And then it might take you maybe a few days, might take you a few weeks, might take you a few months to reset and get that fight back again.
Absolutely.
So he's in a reset mind frame. Like, look, man, I'm just trying to, figure another avenue out. Like, and he has an investigator right now, and that's been like doing his due diligence to where like he trying to, I can't say too much because
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
But no, I know
too either.
Yeah, but
He's still in the mindset of, I'm innocent.
Right.
I'm trying to come home and prove that.
For me, it was the same way. Knowing that you have nothing to do, and it's a different feel, man. You know what I'm saying? It's something that you wake up, go to sleep with. It's like fairly brutal day all over again. Like nothing's changing. You're doing the same thing. Knowing and hoping and praying that sooner or later the truth is going to prevail.
Absolutely.
And when it do, it's bittersweet because people are left with other people as a fake story that was told for so long, and this being a fake narrative, everybody's willing to grab that mantle like, oh yeah, not knowing what truly happened unless they're in the courtroom hearing the evidence for themselves. And then they have that epiphany where, oh my, I ain't know it was like that. Yeah, this is what I've been telling you all the time. These people is lying. These people are no good. You know what I'm saying? They got their own agenda. And coming from New Haven in particular, we know the police force and how wicked and how sticky their hands is.
Absolutely.
And they had their hands in a whole lot of bad things and a whole lot of bad actors as well.
I agree.
And how his daughters and everything.
He got a daughter and a son.
Right.
His son graduates from high school in June. His daughter graduated last year.
That's a blessing.
His son, while we was at the habeas court during one of the intermissions, he pulled me to the side and he asked me, how kids are, they inquisitive, even though he's a teenager.
Right.
He's like, so what about this? What about that? What about that? And it's like, I understand the inquisitive mind because I always tap into how was I when I was 16, 17.
Right.
So, I answer as best as I could.
Right.
But the question that I couldn't answer, I said, you need to have a conversation with your father because technically I don't know all the details. Like I know like you said, what the narrative is, but I know what the narrative ain't.
Right.
So I'm giving him what the narrative
Bits
ain't.
and pieces that you know, yeah.
And I'm trying to tell him as many factual facts as I can.
Right.
Because he don't understand. He like, what they mean by that? And I'm explaining to him like, listen, your father should be home, but then the next few days, like, I don't know the time frame on, but I'm like, it's no way he shouldn't like walk from this. So when the judge denied it, it was just like, not just for him, for all of us, it was like,
right, how could this be?
Yeah.
Now, in Rockville, they have a saying that that's where the habeas go to die, because the judges are unwilling, not all of them, but the majority of them, as of today, have yet to overturn cases where it's a miscarriage of justice.
Yeah.
That's been taking place. It has to go outside the realm of them to do the job that they should have done from the beginning.
Yeah.
It is unfortunate that we can't get a fair shake in these arenas where you have these judges that's unwilling to do the work that's needed. I mean, sometimes you got to go against your colleagues, but it's the greater good for humanity at the end of the day. And I was blessed to have an honorable judge that stood up. I think it's at least a worse taste in your mouth when somebody of your own color
Absolutely.
see what's going on.
Yep.
And instead of doing the right thing, become, the very participant that shoots you in the foot.
Yep.
Just to save face with a narrative that's not only forced, but it's not right, it's not law, and somebody's just frankly a coward to do the right thing.
Yeah.
I'm just calling for what it is, you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Right is right, wrong is wrong. If a person did something wrong, you got to stand on that and, take the time that comes along with that. Yeah. But when you did nothing wrong and you see this evidence for what it is, and you have professionals that's telling you that that's not right and exact, because you said something in our private talk about one particular witness vision wasn't correct.
Yep.
Now, can you tell the audience a little about that?
Yeah, so
because it's public records.
Absolutely.
So it's,
So the main witness in the case is a young lady, and I guess she struggles with her vision.
Right.
It's been documented that, she wears glasses, but she don't wear glasses. Right. And she is the one that actually pointed them out. Weeks after, I guess, everything happened, she came forward, and I guess she was dealing with the surviving victim.
Right.
And to help him out, because he was charged or violated something of that. Again, I don't know.
Right.
This just like what I gather. And they got a specialist to come up to Rockville and say about her eyesight, how from the distance and where she was at, could she see him and how he was dressed and whatever. And he agreed with Mr. Bellamy that it was false, that she wouldn't have been able to see that from that angle with her vision.
Right.
So again, it's unfortunate, and it's sad that, the powers that be will rather stick with the logic of whatever they known for rather than the evidence, the truth.
So basically, the truth is out there, but they rather deal with the false narrative that everybody else is lying and they got who they want.
Yep.
So they don't have to go back and have this on the books.
Yep.
For all the other people that they done did wrong in this state.
Yep.
Which is sad, because if you had the officers doing the proper investigation and you didn't have these bad actors in the police force, because there's a lot of good ones that's doing a lot of good things, that's police as well. But then when you have these people and nobody says nothing, that makes you a willing participant in the nonsense. Just like, say, if me and you together and you do something foolish, I'm held accountable for your nonsense. I don't know, but if I do know and I don't stand up, I'm just as guilty.
It's a saying like silence is an agreement.
Right.
Like during the whole Black Lives Matter movement, how these activists were saying to conservative white people, so to speak, like, if y'all ain't saying nothing, then y'all agree with what's going on. So it's the same
thing.
Judges, prosecutors, if you don't say nothing and stand up, then you in agreement too.
Absolutely. You do push it.
So
it's sad because a man's life hangs in the balance. And we just got to bring awareness to, you know, saying the injustice, because it's Martin Luther King. Injustice, here's an injustice everywhere. We're saying, and we need people that's going to really stand up and show out for those that's right and stand up for those that's wrong. Like, yo, we're not going to be a participant if you're doing wrong.
A daughter just graduated a year ago. He couldn't even walk her, like, you know, put the thing.
Proud father.
Put it on her. I don't know what it's called. Put it on her shirt, you know, on her outfit and nothing.
The bonnet or something.
I don't know, but
it's something like, I know,
you know, it's a father moment, father-daughter moment. Like, you know what I mean? Bring her to the prom. His son just won a championship for West Haven basketball. Couldn't be there. He's about to graduate in less than 90 days. So, you know, it's like those things like weigh on you as well, like all the stuff you missed.
I mean,
he just recently got married. So, you know, he like, it's, you know, it's unfortunate, but, you know, he still got the good spirits to.
You got, you know, some special people that come from being incarcerated, who may have made a mistake earlier on in our lives, but corrected them habits, and paid their debt to society.
Absolutely.
And then there's those that owe no debt to society. Society owes a debt to them. You know what I'm saying? For the wrong that's been perpetrated against them. I believe power comes from the people. If we're voiceless, we have to add a voice.
Absolutely.
That's the special thing about you coming here today, being able to add a voice to a brother that's voiceless. He's not, in a sense, voiceless, but he's enabled to stand up.
Absolutely.
And have multiple hundreds and thousands of people hear his story, to become aware of the wrong that's been perpetrated.
Absolutely.
But now they have that opportunity, and I hope it caused some people to come to his aid, help him in some way, somehow. And the Q&A, what you're doing in your personal life, what type of things you got going on?
So my personal life, about
businesses.
About 18 months ago, I started a small painting business, Santana Hammond Enterprise. My business partner, last name Santana, my last name Hammond. So I started that kind of slow, you know, kind of got a little discouraged. And I actually got to leave here and go do a quote on a studio a little bit bigger than this for one of my friends that has a little booking company. But I also work at Yale University in the library. I drive and, you know, handle the books for the university. That's, you know, that's a stepping stone in its own, getting at the university, coming from our background. But the best work I've done was when I was working at the school, and I was going through, a childhood friend had a nonprofit, and I was going, he like kind of begging me like, yo, come. And it was the greatest job I ever had, because it gave me an opportunity to kind of like revisit my past and realize my influence and try to change that narrative. Because when you come from our backgrounds, you get a second chance. Some of us have a tendency to like change that narrative and the way we view things. So to look at these young black men like Mr. T, like they sizing us up with our dress code. Right. We still got it, like, and they listen. I had a teacher ask me. He said, "Hey, I'm never gonna forget this." He said, "Hey, Mr. T, what do you do?" So I said, "Oh, I'm a mentor." He said, No. What do you do?
Right.
I said, "No, I mentor a few of the students." He said, "Nah, why they go crazy over you?" I said, "I'm who they see every day they walk out the door."
They can identify who you are.
Right. Even though it might not physically be me, but I'm who they see when they walk out their door. Right. Or I'm the man that they will want in their household.
Yes.
So this is why they, gravitate towards me. And that was 2 years ago. Was unfortunate. I did so good that the principal tried to hire me, but my fingerprints, as I mentioned earlier, came back to where I couldn't get the job. So, because the Board of Ed seen my past. And like you said, that's another conversation in itself.
We can't victimize people that's coming home, living their life in the manner in which society has said you should live on one hand, and then slap you in the face on the other hand and say you're not equipped to, have these positions or come home and fill these jobs.
Yeah.
I got a problem with that, because if you're coming home doing great things in the manner in which you're doing, and then they're saying, no, we don't want you to start your life over or do better. We want you, to go back to where you was at without saying it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because what we say, don't tell me about it, be about it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And you're being about it, and they're saying, nah, that's not good enough. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that the federal or the president, should have that power when it's the people that's coming from each and every state into the federal system, where their governor or mayor or something should have direct hands on that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're displaying the willingness to be a better person and to help others. You know what I'm saying? And mend the hearts of children, you know what I'm saying, that's broken.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Or coming from broken homes, or just don't have a male figure in their life. You know what I'm saying? Don't stop that. That should be commended. You know what I'm saying? Like, and helped along in any way, you know what I'm saying, humanly possible. So that should be another mantle picked up on the bring to our legislators and things of that nature. Absolutely. To try to get a bill passed to go to the president or wherever it needs to go to try to help people that's helping themselves.
Absolutely. We are.
Yeah.
With this platform, this is a good thing. I want to commend you for this. More eyes need to be on this show, because what you're doing is like, is unheard of, and it's commendable.
Thank you, bro.
Not just with the podcast, with going into the jails, and that had to be probably traumatic for you to be on the opposite side.
It truly was, and it's nerve-wracking each and every time, because it's a traumatic experience.
Absolutely.
That you're reliving, but only things different. You're walking out.
Absolutely.
After walking in, you know what I'm saying? After a certain time, you're like, okay, I can, breathe easy, you know what I'm saying? But it's painful, because you're seeing the faces that's your face and others, you know what I'm saying, that's living in these horrible conditions, being denied human rights
Absolutely.
and things of that nature. So that's what hurls me each and every time walking into prisons and doing what I'm doing. And a lot of people don't even know I was going into prisons. But
That's big. That's I have a conversation with my guys, you know, in these groupers, and one of my guys just became a CO, and he come from our background, and I'm telling him, I'm like, they commended me, like, yo, bro, because they know the mindset. So I'm like, listen, man, I'm over 40. I'm held responsible for my actions. I'm like, it is no excuse. Once you hit a certain age, there's no excuse.
You know better.
And from the background we come from, being religious, after 40 is when the revelations come. So I'm like, I'm over 40, so it's no excuse for me. So I have to get it right.
You have that epiphany.
Absolutely.
That aha moment.
Yeah.
Whereas clarity sets in.
Absolutely.
Comfortable in your own skin.
Absolutely.
Understanding that you serve a greater purpose outside of yourself.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? First is your family.
First is God.
Right. True indeed. It's paramount. Yeah. But, you know, first to God, family, community.
Absolutely.
And it makes you a stronger individual for doing such. And the dean humbles you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
It does.
It like, when nothing else was able to slow you down and make you think clearly.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because now a thinker is being able to think past that moment of hastiness.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not being hasty, y'all. I'm gonna slow down. I'm gonna
take my time
and breathe. You know what I'm saying? And it's much better.
I'm gonna be selfless as opposed to selfish.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You know, and it's special, man. Like, it's so much joy in giving back as opposed to getting. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about me. You know what I'm saying? It's about us. Let's encompass, you know what I'm saying, what that truly means. I extend my hand. I don't get my hand slapped.
Yeah.
I'm being embraced by my brother or my sister. And not to be used, but to honestly understand that we all need help certain places, certain times in our life. Because if it wasn't for the mercy of God, that was shared and showered on us, we wouldn't be here.
Nah, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't be here because we would be selfish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Thinking the world revolves around you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And nothing good ever came of that.
So before we wrap up, I just want to ask for like a minute or two to talk to the guys or sisters that having a second chance at freedom, at, life. If you find yourself in a situation to where like doors is closing, just be patient. I'm pretty sure myself, this brother here, we all can agree with it ain't been easy. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be extremely hard. In 6 years, I've been through every battle you could possibly think of. I had to fight for custody for my son. So I'm pretty sure a lot of parents is coming back home. They trying to figure their custody situation out. Just be patient. It's gonna be frustrating. It's gonna be annoying. Just breathe. Ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Second, if you find yourself doors closing for jobs, just be patient. Yeah, you gotta pay bills, but it beats the alternative, making 12 cents an hour in jail. It beats that, getting a bedroom, asking for a suit. So just be patient and rely on the help and the people that you have around you. It's not gonna be easy, it's gonna be hard. Right now, it ain't easy for me. I feel like my business should be a $1 million business, but it's not. That's not reality. Reality is I gotta take baby steps, I gotta grind, I gotta put the work in, and I'm willing to do that. And most importantly, separate who you used to be to who you want to become. That means if your friends is calling you and they trying to do this and do that and you ain't with it, just stay away from it.
Yeah.
Then you can say, I've been home for 7 years. Now you doing a bid on the streets.
Yeah.
So just be patient. Just be patient. Just be patient. Take your time. Don't rush.
I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? But because what I hear is love yourself enough to live.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like you're worth that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You're worth breathing easy. You know what I'm saying? Giving yourself time to think things through correctly. You know what I'm saying? Without haste. Many times, man, we get in our own way and we get in our heads to whereas we do ourselves a disservice.
We do.
Let's do ourselves a one up. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you know what? It's about me.
Yeah.
Let me, you know what I'm saying, love myself so I can love others.
Absolutely.
Because until you love yourself enough to if it's mental health that you know what I'm saying, help that you need, seek that. You know what I'm saying? If it's something dealing with a job, like you said, seek people around you that might have the resources to help you in your current situation.
Absolutely.
Because every situation, I guarantee you, with thought, there's a way out.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's a solution. And man, this has been a beautiful locked up and locked out episode. With many more to come. As I tell you all the time, man, I'm growing. My audience is growing. The family, internally, externally, is growing. And brothers like this that's coming to enlightening the locked up and locked out family. Man, thank you, brother.
Appreciate
you know what I'm saying? Man, listen, man, the pleasure's all mine, man.
Hi, buddy.
And listen, man, keep doing what you're doing, man. And whatever it is, man, I can help you with, I'm gonna do it.
Appreciate it.